or so since I've been real active on the channel here, but with my new game here, Cards and Castles 2, we're going to jump right back into it and hopefully make this a regular thing again. So, Cards and Castles has been out for about an hour or so now, and I figured I'm just going to hop right into it and showcase one of my favorite lists that I call Sacred Tombs. So, I'll give you a moment just to look at what I have here, and then I will start chatting about it. So in general, let's start with mana base here. I tend to build things between 20 and 30. Depends on what's going on. I try to keep it closer to 20 if I don't have any form of mana generation, but generally as long as you're under 30, you're okay. And the reverse is true. I build it closer to 30 when I have some mana generation. This deck doesn't really have any, so it's just sort of sitting right there in that median point. Its main deal is, of course, tombstones, which, the backbone of every tombstone deck is Crypt. This card is incredibly good and is going to probably be a little bit meta-shaping on its own. There are plenty of ways to answer it, but, if you don't answer a Crypt, zombie decks can get out of control, and that's why it's probably going to have quite a bit of impact on its own. So the next thing is Cemetery here. This is a big part of the deck. It dictates how the deck is built and a whole bunch of other cool things. As you'll notice, because it's restricted to types here. So I like to run about 12 targets for this. That way I don't end up bricking and getting less tombstones than I want. So I've got my little Skeleton Squire, Dwarf Paladin, Sunsteel Cleric, and White Knight. Just some of my favorite knights in general. And the Squire can buff the other two knights a little bit, or the other couple knights a little bit here. And these guys also provide a dab of healing, which is always nice if you're up against aggro or what have you. Speaking of that, Sign of the Cross is like my main anti-aggro card tech choice here. Like, you stick it down on your own castle and you get a big heal and scare off enemies from it. That's real nice. It's got a lot of uses. And then, of course, just got some more tombstone generation. And Bone Mage is somewhere between hard removal and tombstone generation. Very powerful effect, but can be difficult to pull off, and with that mana cost, it's not cheap either, so you gotta make sure you're using it appropriately. That's also sort of why he's my one-of, since I just don't have much mana to spare for him. And between Crypt, Cemetery, and Honor of the Fallen, I'm generally pretty good on tombstone generation. So he's just there as a way to kill off something really big like a dragon or what have you. Erased Deads, it's an okay card. I don't run it in all my zombie decks. It used to be stronger, but once it went to 3 gold here and incant speed, it it fell off a little bit. But it's still still raising 3 tombstones, drawing a card. It's pretty solid. It doesn't fit all the time, but it's great. So here's the card the deck is primarily named after. Like, this is the big reason to pick Crusaders zombies. It's just, this card is pretty insane, as long as you can, manage your tombstone placement and at least outplay your opponent. It's just, the big thing is there are a lot of area effects in the game, but almost all of them are ritual speed, which means you have to play them at the beginning of the round, and they don't go off till the round ends, so people have time to position around them. This is an incantation speed area of effect, which makes it incredibly powerful. Given, there are some requirements that need to be met to use it, but we're pretty good at meeting those. Over onto our legends, I've got my good old Dracula. I pretty much automatically run one of him in every Necromancer deck, and occasionally I'll run a playset, but because the biggest impact is when he transforms the castle, which only happens once. So he's most useful at 1, but is powerful enough to warrant multiple slots. But I didn't really want all three of them in here since I have plenty of other healing for my castle, so I just wanted the one for that good old castle transform. Of course, Norbon, possibly my favorite card in the game, the leader of the Necromancer factions, which is, my very, very, very close to me. I love necromancy. They're definitely going to be my main faction, just for theme alone, and I'm pretty happy with their power as well. But yeah, he's cool. He's just mass tombstone raising is very nice. And then Mordok, I liked him in the original game. I like how he looks. Like I use him from a PFP, and he's just a real powerhouse of a card in general. Although he can be a little tricky to use. Well, I think that's enough showcasing the deck. Since there's no one here asking any questions, we're just going to go back and hop back into some matches here. We've got a big lobby here. I may as well just auto match in here rather than go to the quick match. I think this is where most folks are going. Although we'll go to quick match afterwards to see what that will do. I'm curious if it will connect to this populated lobby or if it'll only connect to other quick match places. Anyway, so with this deck, you always want to mulligan real hard for crypt. Like that is the backbone of a tomb deck, so you always want to be digging for that. I'm going to keep Honor of the Fallen though because it's a turn one play and it draws a card and it's a little too good to skip. Like if I don't get crypt, this will help a lot. So let's cross our fingers. Hope we find an early crypt. Well, no crypt, but plenty of tombstone generation, so that'll work. So, yeah. It's no crypt, but I'm happy with that, especially with the Sacred Ground in hand. Like, we don't have any zombie generation going here, but that's okay. We're just going to roll with it. Member played a ritual that just draws cards for both of us here. You can see in the history tab. He gets 3. He draws 3, but then he also gives me 2 cards in exchange. I took one of his Den of Thieves, which can be pretty crippling because that's what that deck's all about. Like, this is its main card. Not to mention all the offerings he gives me, I will get a lot of extra use out of. So I was sort of opening with this attack paired aggro. I don't have a good answer to that other than maybe Sacred Ground. I don't really want to spend a baptism on it. I do have some mages and such in the deck, but don't have them right now. So I guess we're just going to plop the paladin down and see what happens here. I'm actually hoping he will try to just kill it off with these birds here rather than aggroing me down, because then I'll be able to answer them with Sacred Ground, hopefully. Okay, good. He is going for that rather than aggroing face. Given I've got plenty of healing, so I'm not really worried about getting aggroed, but this is what I wanted to see happening. But now I have to decide do I want to go towards his base and try to draw the birds away, or do I want to leave it here? If I leave it here, it's pretty obvious what I'm trying to do. So we're just gonna move him up and start going after his base here and call it good. And if I'm lucky, he'll chase it down with the birds. Given if he does play his cards right, he'll be able to kill it and destroy the tombstone. So we've got to hope that doesn't happen. Okay, Dracula. Between Dracula and Mordok, I will definitely be able to deal with these eventually, but that's a few turns off still. So, with what we got, I'm probably just going to Skeletal Squire, just so I can get a little buff on my Paladin here. Although, again, I'm just going to play the Skeletal Squire, which will incentivize him to go off and try to kill that Paladin, and then I'll be able to hopefully get that Sacred Ground. Although if he doesn't go off and kill the Paladin, I can buff him and play an Honor of Fallen. So I've got options here depending on what he does. It's always a good position to be in. It's always nice to have some floating gold and multiple uses for it. Well, the fact that I go first is a little awkward here because really I want him, because that's big enough to kill a tombstone if I'm not careful. I don't quite know how to go about this without tipping my hand too much here. I think, alright, I'm going to, don't want him to be in range of where this tombstone's going to go. So I'm going to bring this down here, and I'm going to bring him up here. This keeps, this should work. This should give me what I need to do. And so while I could have passed turn there, that tips my hand a little bit too much. I'm in an awkward spot here, given so is he a bit, because he has to be real careful about what I'm going on. I believe I played him not too long ago, so he is familiar with what I'm playing. Alright, he's going in for the kill. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Perfect. And now that is going to do some serious damage. That is exactly the unit I wanted him to kill the most there. Because now I am just going to do a real number on his board here. Now, sadly, I don't have anything to follow up with to make use of these tombstones, but I very well may draw something. So I could try to heal him up, but that mana is just way too valuable. Especially because I want to be playing both Mordok and Dracula in the not-too-distant future here. I might play a Monastery Protector, or I might go for... I don't really need to play the Den of Thieves right now, but playing the Den of Thieves does make the Monastery Protector cheaper. Yeah, maybe time for that Den of Thieves. We'll see. Actually, no. I'm going to go for Honor of the Fallen, because if I'm lucky, I'll just draw into something to make use of those tombstones. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see what we can draw. And we got something to use with those tombstones. Good deal. A few other little nuances here. You'll notice that I don't usually, when I've got two movement units, I will place them staggered through the castle rather than direct on, because staggered lets you move to here and then you can move down or there to hit to the castle, as well as threatening the mana tower. If you do it straight on, it's easy to body block. So now we're just gonna go for Raise Dead. Now we actually would have preferred this tombstone to die completely, but this is fine. Because a damaged tombstone will result in a damaged zombie. So I think attacking knights from the front is not a good idea, but I do want to protect that tombstone for the moment, so I'm just going to go up there, not attack, and sit tight. Alright, we're just going to clean this up here. Okay, I still have another Honor of the Fallen proc too. Cool. More tombstone generation, but not any more tombstone usage, so I could try to heal and then see what I draw. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I think I will just heal a zombie and see if I can get some use for those tombstones. If I can't, okay, well there's a crypt. That'll work. Because now I can make slow use out of them, so perfect. I'm expecting to see a Drawmoth soon. That's a very full hand. Okay, we've still got at least a turn before that happens. I think I'll raise the one in the back and just... Okay, that one will survive that thing's attack. Alright, this way I can snipe this off now. Oh, I did still have another Honor of the Fallen proc. So if I move in with the zombies now, he will kill a tombstone, but I guess I'm not that worried about it. If he kills a tombstone, then that means I get to use use this zombie to clear his con order. So it's a bit of a win-win there. I do need to have a healthy respect and fear for Dromoth, because he can be just a bit of a monster in general, but can be particularly rough on my hordes with his explosions. But I have at least one more turn before I have to worry about that. If he plays something on the front line, I may play the Mordock just to start getting those free levels up. But playing the Mordock means I will definitely lose this Tombstone without getting a crypt, so it's a little bit of a tough call here. So I can get the Tombstone raise and play something else, or I can start working on Mordock. And that Tombstone's probably going to die anyways, since he's got first turn here. So it's probably best just to get this Mordock rolling here. Well, we do have a few folks hanging out. Cool. So Mordock is doing his thing. He's powering up. And that's I'll leave him there just a little bit longer so we can kill that. I don't know if we can kill this Dwarf Paladin, but we're going to give it a shot. We're just a little bit shy, but that's alright. Mordock will probably clean it up just when I park it next to him. Okay, he healed it up. He stole one of my heals. You can tell he stole it from me because it was discounted by Den of Thieves rather than its usual 2 cost. So we're going to come in here, clean this knight up, and start using that to power Mordock up even further. I'm probably going to go for a Raised Dead Cemetery combo here. So 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 gold. And I guess we'll throw down an Honor of the Fallen now just to see what we draw. But yeah, no, we're going to go for the Wombo zombie raise here. Well, meanwhile, Mordock will just keep doing his thing. Well, I'm in a pretty good spot right now. Dromoth, it is officially time for Dromoth. He has a full hand and 7 gold. For those that don't know, Dromoth is the Crusader Dragon. He's a big boy with area of effect attacks, and he gets a mana discount based on the amount of cards in your hand. So it's pretty telling. You know, that's most likely what he's playing here. And with a full hand here, he definitely has the mana to play it. Okay, but no drama this turn. That's always good. So I think we're just going to go right into that combo here. We'll just leave Mordock sitting there. Although, I don't want to give up a backstab, but I can live with a backstab. Curious that the zombies spawn that way. I'm pretty sure this spawning for zombies is actually dependent on how the units were facing. I know off the cemetery they're all going to face his way because that's sort of the default, but I believe he's facing backwards because that came off of one of his enemy units. Although I suppose I don't have to rush the raised dead. He doesn't have any immediate access to it, so instead I'm just going to not give up that immediate backstab, run in here, punch that, and we'll raise dead in a moment here. This makes him sweat a little bit, because now I might have some removal or something in my hand that he doesn't need to worry about. Although, he does have a crypt, so doing it that way means I actually just made a bit of a mistake there. I forgot he played crypt, because I wasn't thinking about him having crypt. I should have just played race dead, so I got all three. But it was a toss-up there. Either I lose a tombstone to this crypt, or I give up a backstab. Neither of which I really wanted to do. Okay, but because I still have that Honor the Fallen going, even if he does steal a tombstone now, I'm not missing out on anything. So this is fine. I think I made the right call, actually. The question is, okay, he's going to go for the Mordok punch. That was probably not his best move, because that gave me another... Yeah, well, I think we're definitely going to raise dead now. Gave Mordok another level there. If I were him, I would have probably attacked one of these tombstones to weaken it and, not give Mordok another free level. Ah, the sacred ground. He's been stealing all kinds of good stuff from me. One action left. I really want to keep getting levels on Mordok. So I could just come kill this and get some levels off of the cleric. But yeah, because if I don't kill that, then he's going to get a backstab. So yeah, let's just do that. We'll eat a little bit off of the Sunsteel Cleric, and if he plays it right, he'll move the Sunsteel Cleric away from the Mordok, but he may be pretty invested in protecting that crypt. Okay, he's going to try to protect the crypt, but that means just free food for Mordok, which is very good for us. I will probably be throwing out a Sign of the Cross soon to hopefully heal him up, and it'll also be able to kill that crypt. My hand is full, which is a little awkward. He's been feeding me so many cards, but that's okay, because you don't burn cards if your hand is full, so there's very little to lose right now. But yeah, we're almost definitely playing Sign of the Cross this turn. And I'm not sure what else. And it sort of depends what he does here. Like, if he plays a drama off, that'll change everything I'm doing. But he didn't play it. Alright, so we're going to play Sign of the Cross here. And that's going to... I'm pretty sure it does like exactly enough to kill Crypt. And then I'll also... Yeah, he's not going to be able to stop me from getting Mordok in where I want to be there. The only question is, can he kill the Mordok? Which is certainly a possibility. So I need to save at least 1 gold so I can move this tombstone out of the way if I have to. I think we're just going to play Den of Thieves now, just to start giving us options. Oh, a priest. Okay, yeah, so I think I'll play the priest just as another little heal. Yeah, he does not like that I stole his thing. Yeah, we'll play the priest to heal the Mordok up a bit more, which will still leave us another gold left for the crypt here. Given he may be stealing my crypt, but... Ooh, he's gonna kill my boy. Well, at least that will let me get this zombie out before he has an opportunity to, which I guess doesn't accomplish too much again, since, well, he doesn't have any gold left, so he no longer can do that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, we're going to kill this, then we're going to come over, kill his mana tower as well, and then we'll see what he does. Got a cards, so I'll get both of those offerings he's going to give me. I think we'll beat that up a bit here. Don't quite know what to do with this priest, so we're just going to move it down here into where it can rush the castle next turn if he wants to. Okay, yep, alright. As I expected, that sign of the cross killed the crypt and healed my zombie. It did knock out one of my tombstones, which is a little unfortunate, but yeah, that's okay. Alright, so free parrot, why not? Could play Dracula, I don't really need to right now. I think let's just get some of these donated monastery protectors down. I'll leave myself enough gold to, maybe play a baptism or nothing else, we'll just play the 1 gold off of there. It's okay, you don't need to spend your gold every turn. Yeah, we're going to call that good, and we'll see what happens here. I might go for the raised dead just for the draw, since you get those heals off the monastery protector. It depends if he leaves me anything alive here. I don't really want to raise dead just for a single tombstone, though, so we'll just see what happens here. Stealing my stuff. And we're both running sort of low on cards here. And he's getting very close to some big draw moths, which he's very likely running. But I'm hoping... Well, we'll see. I'm ahead on field, but that can change in an instant if draw moth shows up. But I've got this bone mage in reserve if I can at least beat the draw moth up, so we will see what happens here. I don't remember if I have any Honor of the Fallen procs left. So I could baptism one of these units. I might do that just so I can steal this mana tower. Yeah, let's baptism this just so we can kill off that mana tower. Again, because if I can keep him off of 4 mana, he can't play Draw Moth at all. Okay, well, he's just trading incants here, and I'm not going to get any tombstone use this turn, but that will set me up for... Okay, I did still have an Honor of the Fallen proc left. That's actually unfortunate, because now I can't kill his mana tower. Although I might... Well, we'll see. We'll figure it out. I think I'm going to work on beating up this monk here. That wasn't my best play there. In my thought, I thought I still had another action for some reason. I was trying to protect the priest, but now the priest is just vulnerable to getting punched, but that's okay. We'll be fine. He is very low on mana. Okay, he's targeting my tombstones, which is not a bad call at all on his part. Going after my bird. So I'll just try and kill this off. Okay, I still had Honor the Fallen going here. Now, do I heal the bird? Yeah, I think we just heal the bird. Let me pull my priest back a square, because I want to place something like Dracula there. So we'll heal the bird. Now we'll send the bird in to start chipping away. And we'll bring down monastery as well. That's it for this turn. I'm a little nervous about Dromoth still, but I've been hurting his man. Ooh, a sacred ground. That's going to be a bit rough on him. If he leaves this tombstone right here alive, that is going to be absolutely brutal. Okay, he's just trying to deck me out at this point. Well, that does mean I have 2 Mordocks left in the deck because he can't steal the legends. Alright, so he dropped a bandit, trying to steal like the last little bit he can from me. So I definitely want to save enough gold to play Sacred Ground. And then I do sort of want to play Raised Dead as well, most likely. So 3, 4, 5. So no Dracula this turn. I want to keep this Bone Mage just in reserve. I don't really want to bring him out right now. So 2. So we're at 5 if we play Raised Dead and Sacred Ground, leaving us 5 gold to spare. I may as well play this Dwarf Paladin. There's no reason not to. And I don't want to play the Con Artist until I am out of things to give him. We'll play a White Knight as well. And yep, alright, until I am fresh out of cards to give him, we'll call that good. That gives us enough gold to do Sacred Ground, Raised Dead, and a Tombstone proc there. Okay, since he's opening with an incant, that'll give me a chance to Sacred Ground. Stole the zombie, which means I don't get that tombstone, but it does mean his zombie gets damaged by the Sacred Ground. And now we're going to be in a good, very good Raised Dead crypt position. Ooh, spawn blocking is almost impossible in this game since you get all of these areas, but I'm reaching a point where that may end up happening. So I guess first let's just Raise Dead, see what that brings us. And there's my Mordock, which means 2 of these cards. Oh, I still haven't seen any Norbon. Okay, so there's 2 Norbons and a Mordock left. That's it. Alright, so I am actually safe to play this Con Artist now, because I have not seen my Norbons, have I? I definitely want to kill his... Alright, so let's bring the bird up here to kill his zombie, then we'll move up and kill a bunch of his stuff. Now we're in a pretty good position. Like, while Dromoth could have swung the game for him, I'm denying his mana enough that he is not likely to get a chance to play Mordock at this rate. Now we are just moving on in here. Yes, you can attack your own tombstones if you are so inclined. Tombstones are a neutral unit, so basically they're hit by everything. The sole exception to that is Sacred Ground. It doesn't say in its text, but Sacred Ground doesn't damage tombstones. All other AoEs, whether they are friendly or enemy, do though. So we'll move Priest up, may as well heal the zombie. We are pretty close to spawn blocking him too. Like, if I didn't destroy some of his buildings, he would have been in spawn block danger. But that's really just not a practical way to try and win. It's not likely to work, and it was just a funny thought. Zombies do always play a fairly slow game plan. know, they are very much the slowly overwhelm your opponent. So the games tend to be longer, but that's very much my style. It is not the norm for games to last this long. Alright, so I'm fairly confident. Hey, redacted plays games. I wonder what your unredacted name is. Glad to see you stop by here. Alright, back to my turn at hand. So I'm still nervous that I might have a card that isn't a legend left in the deck, and so I'm not going to play my Con Artist right now. Don't really like playing Mordock unless I can get an immediate level up off of him. So we're just going to play our Dracula and work on overwhelming him the rest of the way. And yeah, we'll play a Sunsteel Cleric for good measure as well. That'll leave us enough gold to use Crypt. He's digging hard still for something. Uh, let's see. There's a little bit of AoE in these colors. Pirates has a 3 gold, deal 10 damage AoE, which won't really do too much hurting, and then Crusaders have a few ritual-based options like you've seen with that, well, obviously the Sacred Ground, but I doubt he has another of those, as well as the Sign of the Cross that I played earlier. Yes, speak of the devil, there's Sign of the Cross, which makes advancing this turn very hard. Lifesteal's still pretty strong here, like at 50%. It's pretty rough. So, let's see. Probably just want to move everything off of there. I would like to kill this if possible. Okay, actually, let's just start by prepping this tombstone, and we can beat this up, and we'll call that a good start. I'm going to... I will probably sacrifice... okay, none of my zombies are big enough to actually kill that Den of Thieves, but I'll just sacrifice the small one there to start beating up on that other den. We'll see. Let me see if I know how to do that here. OBS believes my mic is all the way up. I will just try to speak up for now. I'll futz with that a later time. Hopefully that's a little bit better if I move my mic closer and speak up. Or is there other volume drowning me out that I need to turn down? I'm just getting stuff out of the way of this Sign of the Cross here. And I guess we're just going to sort of sit with it like that. You know, I've probably allowed him to kill my priest with this protector, but doing that will let me beat up on the protector, so I will... No, I still have another tombstone. Well, this is fine. Well, I will just go ahead and kill that then. I suppose I could have tried to just kill my tombstone to guarantee an attack on that, but that isn't going to cut it. So we're in a pretty good spot here. Still need to be careful because if I let him get a draw moth down, I could be in a bit of trouble since I am about to be very much out of cards here. Lore Master, the other card with hand size synergy. And yes, I can lifesteal off of structures, tombstones included here. I think I'll play Norbon, just that's another good card to attack castle with. Let's see what else to do with my gold here. Play the priest, why not? I think we'll just hold off. We'll probably end up using the rest of our gold to use this mana tower. Well, actually, probably not. I'll be using that tombstone, so that's fine. We're not using... probably should have played the con artist at this point. But I'm still a little nervous about what my last card is. Whew, that hurt my Dracula real bad. But I can heal him up with the priest. I'd really like to kill this Monastery Protector because I still might have a Honor the Fallen proc left. So I can do that if I just punch him with Norabon. Do I have an Honor proc left? No, I don't, but that's okay. Now we can just command, start beating this Tarius up. I should be able to kill. I don't want to attack that with Dracula. I want to keep Dracula alive. Don't have another way to kill it if I don't attack it with Dracula. Dracula will survive this, hopefully. Yeah, alright, he's fine. We're looking to be in a pretty good spot here. Looking all but over here. Alright, well, I am out of cards, so there's definitely nothing this con artist can give away now, so we'll go ahead and play him. I guess he also only has legends left in his deck. I am going to start eating fatigue damage, but Dracula will probably keep me nice and healthy. We'll just toss down another Norabon. That way we can get some ranged hits on this castle here. We will probably be able to just win here. Now, the one thing he could do right now that could give me trouble is he could spend some of his gold on Mana Tower and then drop Drawmoth, which could devastate my field. But let's just hope that doesn't happen. Even if it does, I have initiative, so I can get some work done or move some stuff out of the way if need be. Sign of the Cross. I think I will just be able to kill him. It's a little risky, but I am just going to go for the kill, which will put both my Norabon and Dracula in damage range for that cross, but that's okay. So first I'm going to come heal this Dracula up so I can maximize my damage. And then I'm going to attack with this Norabon so I can get a better feel. I am pretty sure I can get this kill. So Drawmoth is the big Crusader dragon. He's got a big old pile of stats, and he costs 14 mana, but one less for each card in the hand. So usually with this type of deck, expect him to cost 4 or 5 mana. And more importantly, he also does explosion on his attacks, so anything touching his target will take half the damage he does. Ooh, he's really beating up my Dracula here. Who's the highest damage of these three? The zombie is. Okay, so the zombie will just hit. This zombie will come down here. And okay, that's still just game. Didn't even need the Dracula. I do need to take a real short break here. I will be right back after I take a call. So work calls are taking a little bit longer than expected. I have a brief reprieve, but I'll have to take another one shortly here. In the meantime, I suppose we can just comment on Red and Terror's match here until that second call comes in. So we've got big old Lionel running around here. He is going to be a real force to be reckoned with up until this Sea Witch dies. Once that Sea Witch dies, he will lose half of his damage, but he's going to be in no rush to kill her off, given he's not going to survive much longer either. This is the units do get colored according to whose castles it is, so you can tell who's whose. You know, these are reds, these are terrors, the Sea Witch is likely just going to finish off that Lionel, but he's certainly gotten a fair amount of value in the meantime. They're both on yellow-green, which is most commonly Steel Drawmoth, but there are other cool things you can do with it. Like, there are just a lot of good stuff in both factions. Based on some of the legends I'm seeing from them right now, they very well maybe just be playing good stuff and rather than Steel Drawmoth. Because Crusaders got great removal and gold gain, or I mean, Pirates has the great removal and gold gain, you know, somewhat similar to CNC1. You can definitely see the elements of CNC1 have returned to this game. Things have changed quite a bit, but the core principles still remain. So yeah, so far it just looks like we're seeing good stuff, although if I know red, that might be a Joff list. He's a big fan of Joff and with those colors too. Although I don't usually play much in the way of mana cards at all when Joff comes, because he's one of the neutral legendaries, so when he gets played, he converts all of your mana to gold. So I try not to play him alongside much other mana. But Joan Vive might be his only other mana card, or I could be completely wrong and he's not playing Joff. He's definitely playing, you know, some dedicated knights here. Knights have some cool support. Meanwhile, Terror, we haven't seen a lot of what Terror's been doing other than Sea Witches, which are phenomenal stall units. Yep, there's some of that strong green removal we were talking about. Backstab, just burst speed, big damage. Yeah, it does seem like both of them are just sort of playing good stuff. I'm thinking red is on Joff Knights. Not quite sure what Terror's on, other than right. The other big thing that green likes to do is storm, but the fact that we are on the 10 gold turn and there's no storm going on means there's definitely these are definitely not storm decks here. So I think Terror is just on good stuff, and red is on Joff Knights. Alright, so we're seeing lots of Sea Witch rituals. This very fun sort of zone denial of lowering things levels that come in. Oh yes, we did see the Joff. It was Joff Knights after all, with Joan Vive probably being the only other mana-based card in the list. And Joff comes down and converted all that gold, or all that mana into gold, letting him play something alongside Joff, which would normally be 9. Terra is doing his best to hold off this onslaught here, but he's definitely on the back foot. Like, Sea Witch helps a lot, but Joff's cavalry got tons of movement. He'll be able to go and snipe that Sea Witch off pretty soon. But in the meantime, Sea Witch is buying him some time, but he's going to need something big to come back from Red's field here, because Red's got a very commanding presence. Ah, yes, Joff and his horse. And it's going to be pretty hard for Terrortail to come back from this point. Uh, Trying to think of things he could do. He's low on mana himself, so most of the big power plays aren't available to him. They've both got roughly equal hand size, and he has been whittling away at Red's field with this Sea Witch, both with its range attacks and ritual. Uh, he may be just waiting to play some really big things like Doom Ship and crew, and if he dropped a Doom Ship or two, that could start to turn this around. But we'll have to see. I want to go back to playing my own game here, but I keep expecting a work call. So we'll just watch this game out, and if I haven't gotten a call by then, I will hop back into it myself. Red is coming in. He's no longer afraid of this ritual. He figures it is time to move in and start getting some work done. Sea Witch is dead. He's got big commanding field going here. Uh, but Terror's on full health. But he's running low on cards now too. Even some Doom ships or similar may not be able to recover things for him at this point. And he's just avoiding the level drain ritual with his assassins. Joff is eating it in order to kill off that Sea Witch, and now it's just a matter of closing the game out. It's certainly Red has a big advantage right now, but it's certainly not over with these almost untouched castles. Let's see if Terror's got anything to turn this around. Oof, ramp this late in the game. Yeah, this is looking pretty secured for Red if that is all he's doing on his turn. Now, given his hand might be full of some removal, so he may be able to just take Joff out shortly here, but I don't see him coming back at this point. Like, it was already going to be an uphill battle this turn if he'd managed to put something big down, but I think this is fairly well over now. Yeah, he's going to get mana denied and going to start taking heavy damage from the castle. Yep, this is over. Red probably. I don't know if Red will win next turn, but. Well, he might. If he gets this wizard into range, it may very well. Oh, he didn't move the wizard up. No, you can't, but the rate that you get shards is so incredibly fast right now. Like, you play two games and you can make a brand new deck. Like in a matter of a couple weeks to a couple months, you're going to have a 100% full collection. That's just not to, and even just spectating games give shards. Like anything you do just feeds you shards at an incredible rate. So I'll be hopping back into my own match after this one, and hopefully we won't get interrupted again. This looks like lethal from red here. Terra's trying. Oh, another Lionel, but that's just not going to do it. A good effort, though. Serpent Winch is a card I haven't seen get a lot of play, but it's solid enough. I suppose Joff does bring out a lot of cards that may not see play otherwise, just the high gold cost cards in general. Well, let's hop back into my own match here, and hopefully we won't get interrupted. Alright. Me and Vember just keep getting matched up here. Oh, right, I wanted to experiment with the quick match, but we'll worry about that later. But yeah, I'm just going to dump everything. Because really, actually, no, I'm going to hold on to the Raised Dead Cemetery combo. That's a pretty strong open. So we'll hold on to that and hopefully draw a crypt off of those two. Hey, alright, we are very happy with this hand. We have, ooh, it got even better. We even get to add an Honor of the Fallen to it. And we just have everything we want to see right now. And if he is on aggro, Sign of the Cross will go a long way there. Alright, well I hope to see you around. Catch you next time. Alright, so I think I'm just going to wait. Well, no. I've got a couple choices here. So I could end summon and cast Cemetery at the end of the round, but he's going to have initiative, so that'll give him a chance to beat up on my my tombstones if I do that. So I think I may just go ahead and play the Dwarf Paladin instead, and we'll hold off on our Raised Dead combos here. So I'm just going to pass because I want to keep my dwarf shield facing front. So knights, so from frontal attack. So if he gets attacked from the side or the back, he'll take tons of damage. But if he gets attacked from the front or if he attacks himself, he takes almost nothing. So I'm just going to leave him sitting here and wait for him to come in. That way I can make a more favorable trade. And if he does want... Now if I pass a second time, he will have the choice to just end the combat, but I am fine with that because I'm trying to play the long game. But he went ahead and moved forward, so now we'll move forward, make our trade, and we're in a decent spot. We'll have Sign of the Cross if he really tries to aggro us down. Basically, if I get below like half health, I'll want to proc that before I'm in real danger. But ideally, we're going to be either setting up our crypt or moving into the Cemetery Raised Dead combo here. Does depend a bit still. We'll probably be playing a crypt just because that paladin's almost certainly about to die here. And there's my work call, of course. Nope, was a spam call. Alright, so back at it here. So we just want to hold off and hopefully get a zombie out of this paladin. And if he doesn't kill our paladin this turn, then we can always play Honor of the Fallen. Going for my mana tower, always valid. Hmm. So I get a little more damage if I attack this Guardian from the back, which you can see the difference depending on where you hover over things. If I do that, then I will almost definitely die to the Manticore. However, that being said, I might want to die to the Manticore, but I'm just going to take the safe play and punch it here. This way it is much harder for him to accomplish anything significant. I still ideally want him to actually kill this Dwarf Paladin and then let me make a zombie out of it, but we'll see what happens here. Yeah, okay, he's probably going to come in with the Manticore. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no, he didn't. He did not go face. Yeah, it will probably be Sign of the Crossing next round. My next play is probably going to be Sign of the Cross and then Cemetery at the end, or if not Cemetery, some Tombstone shenanigans. I don't know if I can afford a heal right now. I mean, I could, but I'm not in like danger of lethal, so we've got initiative anyways. I'd rather preserve my mana. And I think we're going to hold off on the cemeteries and just rebuild our mana tower here. Although, if I do that, he'll probably be able to kill off the paladin, but yeah, we can live with that. Let's just get the pressure off of us for now. Because yeah, if he wants to kill that paladin with that manticore, he has to put it in the cross, which is not what he wants to be doing. Okay, the imp can also just kill our little paladin here. If I pull back to attack the imp, yeah, I might have to just go ahead and heal up. Doesn't feel great, but I don't want him to get a free trade off of that. Yeah, alright, we'll spend some mana. Alright, now the imp can't kill it, and if he wants to kill it with the manticore, it's just an awkward spot to be an engine. I think I'm just going to pass and see what happens. Yeah, he can probably still kill it just by the imp throwing some extra. Okay, he's got a frost blast for good measure. Alright, and there's probably my work call. Boy. Okay, so hopefully done with work calls for now. I ended up losing that one because I got a little distracted there. I guess the right call was to try to defend my base with the dwarf so less face damage was coming my way. I didn't think he'd have enough to kill me, but I was wrong and was a little too distracted to be checking the numbers that closely. I probably could have survived if I just sacrificed my dwarf paladin, but oh, wait, no, that's right. He killed it with a spell. So I was just sort of in trouble in general. He got the better of me. I probably could have played it a little bit different, but I'm just going to chalk that one up to constant interruptions. But also, he did play very well, and he got a very aggressive start, so there was a chance that I just got outmaneuvered in general that match. But now we can hop into the next game. Actually, let me hop. Well, okay, no, we've hopped into the next game. I was going to go fuss around with quick match, but it is what it is. We'll try to remember to do that next time. Alright, so we definitely want to keep that Honor of the Fallen, and I'm just going to replace everything else in hopes of finding a crypt. Perhaps I should have held on to the Sacred Ground, just because it's a real powerhouse of a card, and does combo with Honor of the Fallen, but I really did want to find that crypt, so both are fine. I will open with the Squire here, just a solid little 1-drop. Spiny. Uh, Spiny does a lot of extra damage on counterattacks, but Knights are very good at making their own attacks. So I think we're just going to attack anyways. We're not too worried about it. With the Sign of Cross in my hand, I'm not real worried about taking castle damage. So we're just going to move up to threaten castle and start beating up on that Spiny. Hmm. So I've got a couple choices here. I can either Honor the Fallen, I can Cemetery, or Dwarf Paladin. Dwarf Paladin is the most likely choice here. Yeah, I think we will be just throwing out our Paladin here. Shame we're not going to get Skeletal Squire's little buff, uh, nor will we have the spare gold to spend on Honor, but that's okay. We'll just toss down a Paladin and call that good. So I'm just going to keep moving on up, attacking those spinies. And as I talked about before, you'll notice with my 2 movement units, I like to run them down this lane because that lets you threaten multiple angles here. I can either move down to attack castle, move forward 2, and also moves me towards that mana tower. So that's right where I want to be for those 2 movement units most of the time. Hey, and we found our crypt. Good deal. I think we're just going to toss that down. If Paladin survives the round, I'll play Honor of the Fallen. If he doesn't, we'll make a zombie out of him. Magma Titan, real solid. It's not looking likely that this... ooh, fancy play there. Alright, I think I will go ahead and kill this Spiny, and then I will expect him to finish off my knight with that cockatrice, and then I will make a zombie out of my knight. Now he might just rush face, which would not be a bad choice on his end because it lets him threaten my crypt, but uh, yeah, but that was what I figured would happen. So now we can make a zombie. And I do need to... yeah, I think we will just beat up that. Oh, well, it's a choice between beating up on that or moving forward to start threatening the mana tower there, but I think we're just going to focus on keeping the board clear. This way I can set up a nice Honor of the Fallen play soon here. I think my play this turn is going to be Honor the Fallen, Crypt, and Cemetery. Although, yeah, now let's see what we draw off of Honor the Fallen and make our decisions after that. Yeah, it still looks like we're going to go for the Cemetery Crypt combo here. Alright, finished off that zombie, but now I just need to decide where I want these tombstones. I really want to finish off that cockatrice, but there's no way to do that without leaving myself vulnerable for a tombstone, but I do have initiative next round, so that's okay. We're likely sacrificing a tombstone by doing it this way. Another option was I could have played it one back. That would have probably been the better play. One back, so I could run this zombie forward to kill that this turn, and then raised this one so that couldn't get to it, but we're committed now. Another crypt. Yeah, I think I will just play another crypt here. Little awkward, but that's okay. School of Magic. Interesting. That hints that he's got a lot of mana in his deck, but my mana count's a little high too, so I'll certainly get some use out of that. Okay, so Age of Fire, all these zombies are going to die. Well, at least the spare crypt will. That's okay. In the meantime, they're probably all going to die since I am just going to focus on beating this tree up. Now, I might pull this one back. We'll see. We'll see what he does. I might pull this one just out of the AoE. Hmm. Yep, I think I will just pull him out of the AoE. Got a few options. I'll probably go for the Mordock since he's left me something to feed off of here. That Dragon's Fire is going to hurt. I probably should not have been so hasty to play the second Crypt considering the faction I was up against, but this is fine. Do want to be careful. I want to make sure I don't get trapped in the AoE with my Mordock. So I'm going to play a little awkwardly and throw him down here where he is being threatened by all of these trees, but I'd rather him get threatened by all of the trees than not be able to get out of this Dragon's Fire. So we're just going to leave him parked there for a moment. Yeah, this Dragon's Fire is definitely going to hurt. It's going to wipe out both of my crypts. But we should be alright, because, we still have a cemetery and Norbon, so. I don't usually play two crypts because of stuff like this, but at the turn that I had the option, it seemed like the best play to get maximum use out of my tombstone, so I'm still happy with that choice. Alright, so I may as well make this trade since that zombie's going to die no matter what. And then I think I'm going to come up here and give this tree a nice punch. I might just go for a sign of the cross to clear off that, because he probably needs mana more than I do based on what he's doing here. So I'm just going to set that up, which will also let me heal Mordock. And then we'll get our mana tower back, and we'll get a Sunsteel Cleric ready to go here. Archdruid, okay. Yeah, I think we're just going to go right down there and start beating up that Archdruid. I'm in a perfect little heal spot for the Mordock, and he snagged a level off of her. Oh, Ray's dead, so we are probably doing. He surrendered. Oh well. Alright, so let's go see what happens here if we exit this lobby and go to quick match. Oh, there's multiple lobbies going on here. What's over here? Oh, a bunch of folks I don't quite recognize. So out of curiosity, let's go do quick match and see what happens. I think we weren't gaining rank in that other lobby, or the ranking system. So from what I understand from the ranking system is you primarily get it from quick match, but you can get it from lobbies too. However, you can only get a rank change from a single person in a lobby once. That way you can't just like win trade. So I'm very curious to see if this quick match is going to work. Well, I mean, obviously it'll work. What I'm wondering is if it's going to put me into one of those lobbies, or if it only searches for other people in quick match. So we'll give it about a minute. If we don't find somebody in a minute, we'll just go back to one of the lobbies where all the action's really happening anyways. Give me a moment to go check on the other stream. The official stream looks over. I look forward to watching the VOD for the official stream there, since we had some of the voice actors hanging out. I was there for most of it, but I ducked out at their last half there, since I said this is when I would start this stream. Alright, well, I think that's enough time waiting in quick match. Let's just go back into those lobbies, since that pretty much tells me that quick match. Well, either that, or there was both nobody in quick match. Okay, I can hang out in this lobby. Aha! Alright, I can double down. So I can hang out, I can quick match and auto match in this lobby. I wonder what will happen if I get a match from both. I suspect one will cancel out the other. Alright, so I can hang out in this lobby and do quick match. That's super cool. Hmm. Lobbies aren't displaying while I'm in quick match. I guess let's cancel that and see what happens with lobbies. I'm just exploring the UI right now. Actually, I'm going to. Okay, well, there we have a match. Alright, so we'd like Honor of the Fallen to start, but we really want to find a crypt, because that is the backbone of this deck. No crypt, but This is all right. We've got some other solid plays. A couple of Honor of the Fallens is always nice to see. But I'm not going to open with that. I'm going to open with the Squire to just put on some early pressure. I can always play the Honor of the Fallens to follow up. Look at his little legs go. Yeah, I think we'll just play some Honor of the Fallens, see what we draw. Sacred Ground, good to see. Play another one just to, oh, there's another little Squire. No crypts, but that's okay. We've got a Sacred Ground to make use of those tombstones. And we've got some knight action going on. Big freezy Colossus. Probably going to kill my little dude. I hope he survives, because... oh, poor guy. He must be brand new. I guess most people here are. He attacked the knight from the front rather than moving forward with the Colossus. So I do want to save some gold to pull off a Sacred Ground, so I think I'm just going to play this other Squire here. And this gives me options. If this little Squire dies, which he's likely to do, I can then Sacred Ground. If he doesn't die, then they can just buff each other. And then if I don't get the opportunity to do either of those, I can plop down a Cemetery. So I've got lots of options. Now we just see what my opponent's going to do. Okay, he figured out he could move forward and attack like that. Good deal. Do I actually want to Sacred Ground that tombstone? I don't think so, because I really want to catch this Royal Guard in it. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and drop another Cemetery down. That way I can set myself up for a better Sacred Ground since I have initiative. Double Sacred Ground. Yeah, so that's the end of that combat. Oh, I probably should have moved my little, done something with my little Squire here, but this is fine. So we'll definitely be playing at least one Sacred Ground, maybe two. Let's hope he gives me something else good too. Yeah, we very well may be playing two Sacred Grounds here. That will clean up his field real nice. Yep, let's just go for the second one because we really don't want to lose all our tombstones. Now I just need something to make use of these with, which there's quite a few. Between Norabon, Crypt, and Raised Dead, we've certainly got options. Being up against blue, this is just chain lightning bait though, so alright. But we found a Crypt, so that's good. Not the mass raise, or like right at this point we'd actually prefer Raised Dead, or even better would be Norabon. But yeah, so we're definitely going to plop down this Crypt. We'll probably end up playing the Cemetery too, for lack of something better to do. Ooh, Blessed of the Meek. That can be very threatening. So let's go ahead and plop this tombstone up, and then we'll see what he does after that. going to play the cemetery back here. That way we're not just one big chain lightning pile there. Chain lightning is not nearly as strong as it was in the original. Well, it's not necessarily weaker. It's different. It actually scales off of the unit's attack now, so. No Norabon yet, and I don't really want to play the Mordok unless I can start getting some immediate levels. So I think we're just going to play the White Knight, which we've got initiative, so we'll get a chance to buff our White Knight. And then we'll get a Crypt off. I could play a Sign of the Cross as well, but it doesn't really feel like a great option right now. Yeah, there's that Chain Lightning. That's definitely going to hurt. Let's see, what? We'll just raise a zombie after. We want to see what happens here. Actually, I probably should have raised it right in front of that Master at Arms, that way, because you can walk through tombstones if you have the speed. So I should have blocked his path from being able to come target my base's tombstones here. Okay, but he's going for the kill on the White Knight, which is probably the right call, all things considered. And I'll have a good Mordok set up for next turn. Now I just want to break up some of this chain lightning patterns here so I can bring this up to start beating him up without worrying about the chain lightning. And I'll probably be dropping the Mordok right in front of this zombie here. He has initiative, so. Although perhaps, I don't know, he has initiative, so I'm just going to play the Mordok. Where though's a good question. I think here, yeah, let's play it here. That will start getting me some drain. The other option was playing it in front of the zombie, so I had two targets to drain from. But that did set me up for more bad time with chain, so. Yeah, I will probably just be parking the Mordok next to this Master at Arms now and letting him passively. Ooh, Winds of the North. That's such a very cool card. Alright, but let's go ahead and block off this Brynjolf's path in response, because we don't want him getting closer to our base right now. Although now that he's done that, I can't go do that passive kill that I wanted to on Master of Arms, but I can Bone Mage him next turn, so this is fine. Whew, that is a hard-hitting Royal Guard. I do not think I'm going to attack. I'm just going to move up and park and get that passive drain going. Yep, we'll call that good and see what happens. Ooh, he just finished him off. But I can at least finish off that penguin. I think I will start beating up that Brynjolf. It's always a little risky to damage Brynjolf because he gets stronger the more damaged he is. But Bone Mage should be a fairly clean. Actually, let's play the Honor of the Fallen first, see what we draw. Another Cemetery. Yeah, I think we're just going to Bone Mage. Hmm. I mean, I could play the other Crypt, but I don't have enough mana to make use of it anyways, so I think instead I'll probably just play the Cemetery just for the deck thin. So we'll entomb the one Master at Arms, and we'll just waste some gold this turn. Because if I play a Crypt in either of these places, that Brynjolf is going to kill it, and we really don't want that. Ooh, another Master at Arms. That is really going to tear my tombstone wall up here. Alright, let's slow the Brynjolf's progress and break that chain path up a bit here. Alright, I will hopefully be in position to entomb that Brynjolf, but I have a bit of an issue here of that chain is going to make it very hard to protect this Bone Mage. Alright, so I could play this other cemetery. Yeah, I think I will. Just for the deck thin for the most part. I considered playing it to... Perhaps I should have played it to try and just protect that Bone Mage. But... Raised Dead will help here, but... Yeah, if he is... Alright, let's heal this crypt so it doesn't die to chain lightning. Alright, Sacred Ground will help. Unfortunately... Alright, so we're definitely going to play a Sacred Ground. I was really hoping to be able to entomb this Brynjolf, but he's almost certainly going to come up and murder my Bone Mage now. I think we're just going to play the Sacred Ground, Raise Dead, 3, 4, 5, and a Crypt. So that's the plan. I was hoping to find a way to protect the Bone Mage, but I am not lucky enough. Oh. Ooh, he didn't go for... Oh, that... He may get punished for that, because now I think I will be able to entomb that Brynjolf, thanks to Sacred Ground. Ooh, although he's got his own, but I can at least... Oh, it's just above half health, isn't it? I can entomb... A little bit of an awkward play, but we're going to go for it. We're going to entomb him just so he doesn't get to steal him. Although now yeah, first let's try to protect, well, there's really no way we can protect ourselves from that Brynjolf going to face, so we'll just play the Raise Dead, because we don't actually want to damage him anymore before it attacks. Dracula will help me recover some of my lost health here. Really want to see a Nora Bond soon. We've just got so many crypts floating around that are just begging to get jibbed by chain lightning. But hey, Raised Dead's a pretty good option as well. So let's get our mana tower back down first. We're on initiative. I think I'm just going to... Alright, so 3, 4... Actually, no. Okay, so 3, 6... Alright, yeah, let's get a mana burst. And yeah, okay, we're just going to hold off on our hand. We're going to Raise Dead and Crypt again. Another Brynjolf. So yeah, first things first, let's kill that before it really does me in. And now let's go ahead and Raise Dead. See what happens with that. can start beating him up, but it's a little risky. But I think we're just going to go for it. I think we can just play a Dracula and hopefully then clean him up with zombies. Taking a castle hit will definitely hurt, but I think between Dracula and these signs of the crosses, we don't mind taking some castle damage. I really want to protect that crypt for as long as possible here. So yeah, we're going to do that. Then we're going to get Dracula down to body block for our crypt, and then we'll see what happens from there. Blessed of the Meek. I think I will go ahead and I'm going to hold off on using crypt just so I get a little better feel for what's going to go on with this board. Now, I could attack it with castle, but that is not something I want to do because he's going to hit back if I do that. Now, we are on initiative, so we'll be able to just bonk it with a zombie next turn anyways, so not too worried about it. Can deny his mana tower. Going to move this zombie down so it is ready to hit that Brynjolf. And then I think I'm just going to body block my castle with the other one. We'll call that good for the moment. May throw down a sign of the cross this turn, just to recoup some castle health here. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Actually, I'm going to throw it forward a little bit, so it's a little harder for him to maneuver his guard here. And then, we'll be playing Raise Dead, Crypt, and then probably just Mana Sink. I think we'll call that good for the moment. I'm almost out of cards, though. He's definitely been making me play defensive this game. He seems to be a fairly new player, but he's definitely holding his own. He's crafted a very solid deck, Meek and Brynjolfs and Blizzard. He's also, well, his hand's empty, but he's got plenty of deck left. I do need to start getting on the offense because of that, though. So first things first, let's kill this Brynjolf. I don't mind taking a hit from the Royal Guard too much. So let's play the Raise Dead next. Just for the card draw. Ooh, okay, Reconciliation. Perfect. That'll give us something to do with the last of our mana here. And we're going to get some big heals for Castle off of our Sign of the Cross and Dracula. We're in pretty good shape, despite how low we've allowed our castle to get. Not actually going to attack with the zombie, I'm just going to set him up for the heal. And then I won't have initiative, but I am going to get a pretty big heal, so I'm not too worried about getting... I would like to kill that, so we'll play into chain a little bit here, just so I can kill it off. And then we'll heal Castle a bit more, and we'll get some mana, and we'll call that good. I'm going to really have to start going after him now before he has a chance to drop something big. He may not know he has the ability to reform his mana tower. poor guy. He left. I was going to try to give him that tip, but oh well. Now we will auto match and quick match and see what happens here. I think that's very neat that you can do both of those, although I am not quite sure. Hmm. Still not quite sure how this will. I assume quick match will work, just nobody's really using it right now. Certainly got a lot of competition for Twitch streams right now. Well, I guess we can just look at the deck again for anybody that missed the beginning. Just waiting on a match to... Oh, looks like we got a match. Aha, it's Beastly. Alright, so we really don't want any of this in our starting hand. We really want to find a crypt. Given Sacred Ground is really good, but without any tombstones to go along with it, it's useless. Although when we are up against red, crypt is not as important as it usually is because of how good the color red is at killing crypt. But either way, I don't really like any of that for an opening. This is decent. Honor the Fallen, got a turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3 play, so we are at least curving out. Beastly's sure taking his time on the starting turn there. So I'll be probably dropping a Dwarf Paladin here. Best spot play it's right there because it keeps me in range to attack, but it only presents the knight's front shield to the enemy. But first I have to wait for Beastly to finish his turn. Looks like he's on hard aggro, so it's a good thing we've got a Sign of the Cross. And Dwarf Paladin heals is always nice, although it's pretty expensive mana cost. But we may end up needing it. I will avoid using it if I can, but we have it in a pinch if we really need it. And I think now we just set up the Sunsteel here. Yeah, we're not in enough danger to want to use Sign of the Cross yet, so we'll just use our knights to fend this off for the moment. Getting a little bit of castle heal off of Cleric there. And that very well may set us up for a nice Sacred Ground play next turn. We'll see if he positions into it or not. I don't want to play it for too low value. Okay, he may just go to kill the tombstone. It's definitely the right play on his part. We'll have initiative. I'm still hoping to set up a good sacred ground play this turn, but we'll see if he gives me the opportunity or not. I'm a little short to be able to just kill that now. I am in a bit of an awkward spot. Like, I could play the sign of the cross. I might just do that, just to sort of get myself some breathing room. And this will still give me the potential to play Sacred Ground if he gives me the opportunity. And if nothing else, I will just, push him back and get everything healed up. Will he just stay? There's no reason for him to stay face with that bear hog. I guess if he really wants to kill one of my knights. I think we'll just... we may as well. If we attack, I might... No, Knight takes almost no damage from attacking. May as well. Because he's going to get full healed off of that sign. Oh, he brought the flame entity in. Okay, so that is going to kill my knight. Well, it depends on... No, he's going to heal to full. Then the flame entity is going to pop. So I guess we're just going to play another Honor the Fallen now, since we're not getting Sacred Ground this turn. But we will likely get to play it next turn. Oh, interesting. The damage went off first. Then the flame entity exploded, killing the paladin before he could get healed. That might be a bug. Better take my turn first before going off and trying to bug report, though. Still nothing. Well, I do have... Okay, I have a Raised Dead and a Sacred Ground, so I don't really want to play anything. I've got initiative, so what I really want to see happen is him play a couple things in Sacred Ground reach and then Raised. Okay, so looks like we're just going to be playing the Raised Dead and see what that does. Want to head that thing off, keep it away from my mana tower. Okay, so he killed off his own little flame entity there, but intentionally placed it in the Eye of Flame. So its tombstone would get beat up. And I guess now we're just moving on up, since Don't really, never got a chance to play that Sacred Ground, so, but that's okay. Okay, so we stacked the field up a bit here. Okay, I think I do want to go ahead and play Crypt. Yeah, I'll play Crypt, and I'll play Cleric. This will pretty much force him to try and kill that Crypt right away. Oh, he left the Crypt. Or he left the Tombstone. Lucky me. Few options here. I'm on initiative, so I could do I would probably plan on Sacred Grounding just to tear up his front line a bit there. But if I do that, okay, Sacred Ground, Cemetery, and Raise Dead. I do believe that is the plan. Hopefully he'll play something else worth Sacred Grounding. I mean, if he doesn't, then I may just not. We'll see what happens here. Another Eye of Flame. Yeah, I think I will still Sacred Ground. Not the best Sacred Ground, but it'll kill a couple things here. Yeah, we're just going to let that Tombstone die so we can have the mana to play both of those. I think I'm going to kill that mana tower over focusing the eye too hard here. Yeah, we've got plenty of our own mana for now. Oh, hey, there's an Oropon. Another Siren of the Cross to keep us from keeping us from getting too beat up from these eyes. Although it is tempting to try and just Sign of the Cross his base too. We'll have to see. I think that Crypt may be dying no matter what. Hmm. So think I will Mordock. Do I rebuild my mana tower? Or do I play Sign of the Cross either on his base or mine? I think I just rebuild my mana tower. Playing it a little risky with my castle health now. Ooh. Yeah, I sure hope I don't regret that, but that will take an action of his, so I will be able to get some work done, hopefully. Okay, now I am big enough to kill that. Perfect. Would have been nice if I didn't have to stand in the ritual, but it is what it is. And then we can get a tiny bit of healing somewhere off of that. It does mean I have to take some unfortunate damage to those zombies, but that's better than it getting a shot on my castle. One Eye of Flame down. I've got a Sign of the Cross in hand, which I definitely need to play this turn. I think I'm just going. That's a little, definitely a tricky position, but I think I'll play the Norbon. I'll plop it here so that he doesn't have a clear path to my face, and that way if this Sunstone Cleric dies, I've got a way to bring it back. Now we just gotta hope he doesn't have enough out-of-hand burn to kill me right now, which is unlikely with Castle's spell resist. I could just leave my Mordock back to get healed, but I think I really just want to get the pressure going. Sadly, Cleric doesn't heal from attacking structures. I will leave him back and just will attack with the zombie instead. Move Norbon into castle punching range. Move Mordock out of that ritual and into the other heal spot. And we'll call that. Pyromancer with initiative always hurts. You can do a lot of damage to base. I am running out of heals here, but I think I'll be able to just win faster than he can at this point. Let's see what we can draw. Actually, I think, while it does mean I'm going to have to take some rough unit damage here, I can at least keep that explosion off of my face by completely blocking his path. Yeah, I think we'll just hold off on playing our other options. Alright, yeah, he surrendered it. Alright, crypt in our starting hand. We always like to see that. Now we just want to look for, some cheap units to play. No cheap units, but Honor of the Fallen's always a good turn 1. Yeah, if nothing else, we turn 1 Honor, turn 2 Crypt, turn 3 White. A little bit of a slow start, but it gives us all the pieces we want. We'd prefer to and then we got the Dwarf Paladin for our turn 2. Perfect. So, yeah, we'll just play the Dwarf Paladin defensively here. This way, he can't just walk over him with the Colossus, and he's forced to deal with that Knight head on. And I very well might be able to two-shot that tree before it can really do much of anything. Yep, alright, so I will be able to kill the tree. And then I think we'll throw out a Sunsteel Cleric to try and clean up the Sunflower. I'm being very careful with my Knight positioning to keep their flanks and backs out of reach. So we'll clear this, and then we'll try and protect that tombstone. Probably can't. I mean, if he wants to kill that tombstone, he can. Nothing I can do about it. That is his best play. He will. There's a strong chance. Okay, he is going to go for the attack on the cleric, which suits me just fine. I like keeping my tombstones around. I don't think there's going to be any saving this cleric now, but that does mean I get at least one crypt off of my... Now I could potentially try and heal him up, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. So I will set up a crypt, and then depending on what happens, I've got either a sacred ground, a cemetery, or a heal. Sacred ground's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping he will kill the cleric and, just leave both tombstones alone. I kill the cleric and then rush forward to try and attack the paladin. We'll see what happens, though. Clearing one, but hey, I'm still guaranteed a single tombstone, which I can now get a very nice sacred ground play off of. Norbon's coming online soon, but in the meantime, we'll just drop a white knight and probably be raising up a zombie with Crypt. He's doing his best to keep this monastery protector alive, but that's not going to work. And then I can sneak in the side here. Who do I want to go after? Let's go after that one. And leaving those tombstones alive is a big risk on his part, given he does have initiative, so he very well may be fine. I could heal. I think I will. Let's just pop one little heal. I don't like spending my mana on that, but sometimes it just feels right. I still had just enough to play the Mordock, which was really my only concern. Which I can drop. Oh, he's gonna Joan-Vive me. No Mordock for me. That's okay, I've got plenty of things to do with my mana. First of which will be to raise a zombie here, see if we can clear this off. But we can get fairly close. Tricky. But yeah, let's just go for that punch. See where that takes us. Should have a pretty strong Norbon play next turn, since I'll be able to cemetery this turn. I'll be on 7 gold. Oh. Now, the way things spawn isn't quite random, but it's a little difficult to explain, too. It sort of favors like a down clockwise motion, but then also favors closest square. It's a little tricky to explain. I think I will just... I can either heal this zombie, or I can get some mana. Since I've got a couple Mordocks in hand, and I really don't care about a zombie dying, I'm going to start prepping some extra mana. Alright, should have a nice strong Mordock turn, or a Norbon turn here. I don't think I have an Honor of Fallen active, but first I'm going to kill this in case I do, and I forgot. Okay, I don't. So time to raise the zombies, and then we can go kill this off. I did leave my Norbon a little vulnerable to this Living Vines, but that's alright. I've got a reconciliation and a zombie wall to protect it. Although he positioned that well, I won't be able to kill this. My Norbon's in danger. Because he's got initiative, so I could be... I'm almost certainly losing my Norbon because I was a little reckless, but that's okay. Norbon has done its primary purpose already, and I've got a raised dead in hand to back up. But I think I will just throw out a heal, just in an effort, because that's a pretty good heal, 3, 4 targets there. Which still leaves me the option to play Mordock this turn if I wanted, which I think I will. I think I'll go for Mordock and a Reconciliation, because that should be pretty... and that, I think my Norbon will survive that way. I just damaged that Vines enough that it already can't kill him. So we'll start with the Mordock. We won't go for the Reconciliation right away. Although if we don't go for the Reconciliation right away, we risk that getting healed up and having enough to punch through, so I think we will. No spare gold for zombie creation, but that's alright. Oh, okay. That'll do it. Norpon was able to actually kill off on the counterattack, but that's alright. So kill that. He's just surrendering. Appears that my rank has been largely frozen, so it seems to be that it is you can only gain rank or lose rank like once per lobby. This is fine. If I get too much rank, then I won't be able to play with a lot of folks anyways, so. Alright, so definitely want the Honor of Fallen to start, but I'd really like to find a crypt rather than some of these other options. Although again, being against red, crypt is not as important as it usually is, but it is still just really good. And this is a pretty solid hand. Like Honor of Fallen, Raise Dead, turn 2 play, turn 3 play, pretty good. I believe, yeah, I have one Honor of the Fallen going already. Probably just want to play one of my other knights. The question is where. So if I play it down on the bottom, I keep myself from getting flanked by this mobster. Yeah, I think we'll go for that. I don't get to threaten that acolyte as much as I would like, but that's okay. I can always go after that later. Because if the acolyte wants to do good damage, he has to come over here into range. If he is staying on the front half, he will do almost no damage to those knights. He did give me... Yeah, okay, I think we will go ahead and punch the acolyte once. And then we'll come over here and hit this as well. And I'll be on initiative next turn, so I'll likely be able to kill that acolyte. Works for me. And if we can get some tombstones going, we've got a Raise Dead play. And next turn's play will most likely be Raise Dead and Honor the Fallen, but we'll see how it works out. Yep, I think we're going to lean into that because we can always do cemetery instead if we don't get any tombstone action. So we'll just clean up his board for now. I'll hit this first, and then we'll clean that up next, and we'll see what happens here. We'll most likely get both of those tombstones off of Raised Head. Oh, even better. While it's not nice to have lost the knight, his death will not be in vain. Now, I specifically cast Honor of the Fallen second there because he's on initiative, and if I left a tombstone there, he was almost definitely going to kill it. Ah, Pyromancer. Always a strong card, and that's going to wipe out that horde pretty quick. I might just set up a Bone Mage so that I have something to fight the Sensei with. Yeah, it's going to be, that Pyromancer is going to be tough to deal with here. I want to make sure I leave my Bone Mage out of range of Pyromancer. So if he moves up 2, he's got 2 range on his ability. This should be a safe spot. He very well may just clear all 3 of those up there, which is going to hurt a bit. Oh, he went for the attack instead of the bomb. He may just not quite understand how to use the bomb yet. Do I want... Okay, I don't even have the option, so we'll just be killing it instead. And then we should be able to, on initiative, deal with that Pyromancer before it can cause serious damage. And I think we're most likely just going to go for a Raised Dead Cemetery play, and we'll call that good. Then again, well, yeah, that still sets us up for Norb on next turn as well. I probably should have just gone for Raised Dead, but since I'm going to have a couple tombstones out, but no, we're good. I think I still made the right call. Get an extra tombstone down, and if I'm lucky, he'll go up and kill that knight. Or, well, hey, as long as he kills something, I'm happy. I'll get a full value Raised Dead. Yeah, I probably should have just played the Sunstone Cleric instead, but This is fine. Cemetery will set us up for a nice Norbon play next turn. I don't have initiative, so it's a little risky me playing the tombstones this far forward. I could play very hard into another pyromancer, but oh well. Probably should have pulled them back, but I'm eager, getting that bloodlust. Cargrim. Alright. Didn't get punished, and he's probably going to get punished for playing that, since that really ate into his castle's health. Looks like I've got the win on initiative here. I guess let's throw down a sign of the cross for good measure in case he pulls off something wacky. And then we'll throw down a white knight, and we'll save a little bit of extra mana for Norbon and Reconciliation. We'll go take the victory with Norbon. It feels appropriate. Sort of prefer a quick match at this point, though, just so I can get some extra rank, but I'm happy just playing in general. I suppose we'll go give Astonisher a whirl here. Oh, that's awkward. Both Muck and I seem to have. Okay, so Muck's there. Time to report another small bug. Just waiting on a quick match and doing some bug reporting for this odd phantom game. Might wrap the stream up a little bit soon here, just because my voice is beginning to fade and we're hitting a bit of a lull in the action, and don't think there are too many viewers hanging out, although if anyone is, feel free to speak up and I'm happy to keep going. Aha, we got another match. Up against somebody I don't recognize. Alright, crypt in our opening hand, that's always good. Might hold on to one of these signs of the cross, just considering we are playing against red-purple, which is often very aggressive, so I may want one of those just to keep myself alive. No opening plays, not ideal, but crypt does double as an opening play, so it's okay. But if he is an aggressive aggro list, I really do like to get a unit down early. But we will have to make do with what we have here. Well, with no other play, we are playing Crypt, and at least we'll be able to cycle into White Knight and Sign of the Crosses as needed from here. He is making that slightly rookie mistake of running up the middle rather than running up this lane, but I didn't have a body blocker, so it worked out fine for him. Yeah, I'll most likely just be dropping my White Knight. Well, it's a tough call. So if I drop it up top, the White Knight is safe from any flank damage. But if I do it in either of those spaces, then this mobster can go hide and my castle will be in the way. So I'll likely just have to give up some potential flank damage from my White Knight in order to ensure I can chase this mobster off of my crypt. Alternatively, Sign of the Cross is an option, but I really want to get a unit down. Let's see, how much damage will these two do? 13, 8, so 21-ish. Alright, so White Knight will survive even from double flank damage. This way I can sort of protect my crypt a bit more. Although I suppose I should have counted for the Bear Hog. I very well may be losing my White Knight, but it will take all 3 of their attacks to do and then leave me with initiative, and I can get a zombie off of them. So this should work fine. Okay, so he did not kill my White Knight off immediately by summoning that Bear Hog, although he still may, given he wouldn't have had 3 actions either way. I'm just wondering, does he have... Ah, okay, so that's his plan there. Got it. Still content with that, though. This is certainly awkward, so I really want to save enough mana to use Crypt, but I don't really have much of another play. I could do Cemetery, but that doesn't feel great, especially since I won't be on initiative next turn. But if I play Bone Mage, then yeah, I think we'll just go for a very awkward sign of the cross here. Not ideal, but it will top off our health and reduce some pressure here. This way he can't chip away at my crypt this turn either. Oof, that pyro. Pyro is definitely not what I wanted to be seeing right now. He very well may still kill my crypt off. Well, I guess we're just going to punch this and hope for the best. Had a very slow start versus an aggressive list like that. And you should backstab the zombie, then move the pyro up to and cast his big old blast. Then again, he may just want to save the mana since I am going to heal pretty much all the damage that will do. Okay, he's just going for a regular attack. Him being on initiative means this turn's probably going to hurt a bit. And it's probably just going to be Bone Mage. Not ideal, that's for sure, because if I play him back, then he's going to get hit by the Pyroblast. If I play him forward, the Imp's going to come get him, so it's sort of just a lose-lose, because if he sticks that Pyroblast right there, it's really going to suck. So we're just going to have to play him in range of the warrior, which will also take a little bit of pressure off of our face too. Next turn we'll get Mordok with initiative, so we'll hopefully be able to clean up that Pyromancer. This turn I expect him to nuke my back row and kill the Bone Mage, but depending on how he does it, it might work out fine. If I get a zombie out of it, I will be happy. But I don't think he can both kill my crypt and prevent me from getting a zombie, so he has a bit of a tough choice right now. Or both kill my crypt and the Bone Mage. He has to pick one or the other. Then again, with Bear Hog, that I may have spoken too soon. He does have a spare gold. Oh, he just went for the attack. Alright, so Mordok should have enough to finish off the Pyromancer combined with his. So yeah, let's just beat up this Acolyte. Doing this so we can block the path to our mana tower from that imp. Yeah, next turn we'll be able to drop the Mordok by the Pyromancer with no other targets. That way we get the guaranteed ping off of that. And then we'll have initiative, so we'll then kill the Pyromancer and reposition the Mordok to continue stealing power. Oh, he's hunting my mana tower. And he really missed out not getting that Bear Hog. Had he played the Bear Hog and gone hard for my mana tower, I wouldn't have been able to play Mordok this turn, which could have really messed me up. But now I should be in a pretty good spot. So I'll be able to get one ping off of this, then I'll move up, kill it, get another ping off of that, and I'll kill the Acolyte with my zombie. Ooh, a condo, though. Kondo's a big boy, and he does have a dojo out. Ooh, yeah, that's going to hit real hard. I may be saying goodbye to my Mordok right here. My main concern is that, yeah, if he does this right and gets the... So First Strike's not quite as strong as the first game. It doesn't work on counterattacks. Yeah, I sequenced that wrong. If he'd attacked with the imp first, he would have gotten just a free hit without counterattack damage. But worked out for me there, at least. That is still just a really big boy that I'm going to have a tough time dealing with right now. And I think I'll be just setting up white and sacred ground. So let's get a defensive white here. And then we'll probably do cemetery and sacred ground to follow up with Norabon the next turn. Now, Kondo does have enough movement to sneak over and kill my crypt, which would be unfortunate, but we can live with that at this point. Okay, just going face. Face is the place. Oof, face is the place definitely hurts. Yeah, I could be in a bit of trouble with how I played that. Not that I had a much of a better option, though. Yeah, I probably should have put down a sign of the cross. Ooh, okay, that might actually save me, because now I can put some tombstones here, which will keep him from getting that extra hit. Then again, it still depends. We're going to have to see what happens here. Get a very nice sacred ground. Which then I should be able to finish off the Kanuchi as well. And as long as I have anything to drop there, I can not die to Kondo. Though it's going to be close. I'm really going to want to play... I wanted to go for Norabomb this turn, but I think that's going to be too risky. Especially since Kondo very well maybe I'll just one-shot him. Yeah, I've got to body block this, so I think we'll just set up a sign of the cross. And we will play a very cheeky frontline crypt. I probably should have drawn a card first before making these decisions, but we're gonna have to roll with this as it is. And then yeah, we can get some zombie raises going pretty quick here. Definitely in a bit of trouble like that. That aggression's rough. This might even just be the default list. It is a solid list. Alright, so we have a stealthy guy around somewhere. So first we're going to start with the crypt that's likely to die here. Ooh, I can't attack. That zombie will die, and then I will probably die. So we're just going to sit tight there. Guess we'll go ahead and make the other zombie as well. And then I'm going to bring this one down to get some heal in his future. And just hang tight for now. Yeah, alright, so he's going to kill the crypt. Expected that. And now I can do some zombie punching, and then next turn, I still don't quite know what my plan is for next turn. My mana is too low to play. Yeah, there go both crypts. We'll just see how much damage we can get done to this condo. Oof, that Ayajatsu. I know I'm going to come attack. Yeah, I think I just need to try and defend. I cannot afford to be attacking right now. Oof, another dojo. Yeah, that condo is really hitting like a truck here. That was a very strangely placed Age of Fire. It was probably just a misclick. Feel a little bad for him. Yeah, I think we're going to go for a Dracula to start trying to recoup some of our lost health here. Yeah, if he'd played that ritual just on my face, it would have been fairly devastating. Smart, going for my mana tower. Will he attack with the condo, or will he keep just sitting? There's very little reason for him not to attack. We're in pretty good shape now. We've stabilized, he is out of cards, and this condo is just sort of stuck. Yeah, there's no reason for him not to attack. I guess he was hoping I'd be foolish enough to attack first, but I will go ahead and attack now, that my castle's not at risk. Guess we'll just heal the castle up since don't have much. Alright, there's another white knight. And that condo's not hitting hard enough to be a threat anymore, so looks like we'll either be raised deading or just getting some mana, depending on what he does. catch. What did he do? He didn't do anything. Okay. Yeah, he is basically out of cards, isn't he? Well, we'll start with the White Knight Punch and see where that takes us. Then we'll move this guy up, and I want to see what he's going to do first. I'd like him to actually kill my White Knight so I can get a good raised dead turn. I may still be doing raised dead either way because I do want to just finish that off. But we'll see. Going for the castle punch. Yeah, I think we're... No, I really want to start getting mana. We've got Dracula out. I can afford to take another bit of damage there. Might be a Mordok, or not a Norabon turn. Yeah, Norabon, Lich. It's going to be hard to recoup my mana enough for Mordok. Alright, play that there. This here, now I have the choice between mana or manipulating the field a little bit. See what he does first. I've got a bit of a Night Wall here. He doesn't have any option but to try to attack a Night Shield, which is never good. Although if he just sits tight, well, could be tricky too. He's having a long thought himself. He just hopped down. Interesting. Well, I think I'll definitely go... Alright, I think we'll hold off on the mana and go for the field manipulation here. Let's go give him a whack. I think we'll just pass back now, because I want him to actually kill that squire so I can get 2 zombies off of Norabon. Oh right, I don't have any crypts. Never mind. Well. Question is, do I want to start beating up on him with Dracula, or do I want to just go face? I think we'll just go face at this point. Do I want to be reckless with my Norabon as well? Probably not. No, screw it, we will. Like, we have a raised dead, we don't really need his ability, I just want him to do some damage at this point. I think we will start working on... Well, we might just go pure face at this point, just try to finish it off with Dracula. Mordok's a little ways out still. And it is a tough call between going face. And I think we will beat up that condo. It is too dangerous to leave having free reign. I can move the white knight down to block its path, and then I can move Norabon up to take a shot. Given it doesn't really block his path since he can walk under Dracula, but that's what we're going to do. Boy, he is still big enough to one-shot Norabon. Jeez, that is a big dude. And with that first strike, yeah, I mean, he should absolutely just walk up and bap that Norabon out of existence here. He's systematically dismembering what's left of my field here. Yep, by Norabon. Probably should have attacked him last round with Dracula too, to prevent him from doing exactly that. Given I don't know if it would have made that much of a difference, but this way at least Dracula's in better condition. I might just play the Raised Dead just for the draw. Feels bad, but I don't want to. I don't have any Tombstone Generation, and I don't want to just waste all that gold, so we're just going to play that for the draw. I guess we're going to do it again. Not the best use of that card, but that's okay. We still have another Crypt and another Norabon in deck, and we may not see any more Tombstones anyways. Oh yeah, speaking of Norabon. Alright, there we go. That'll work. Not that we have Tombstone Generation, so we'll see. Yeah, I'd like to see a cemetery, sacred cemetery to go along with, like, cemetery, sacred ground, Norabon would be perfect right now. I don't really want to, yeah, I'm just going to save my mana. I want to get Mordok in play, and we'll save Norabon until the late game for if we do ever get some Tombstones out again. Defensive Age of Fire. Alright, well, 100% playing Cleric and Mana Bursting, and then we're just going to sit tight with the rest. We'll probably just finish that condo off with Dracula, but it does depend where he takes him. He could get out of Dracula's reach. Although if he did that, I'd be able to finish him off with my other units. Hmm. I might, yeah, I think I'll be able to do sacrifice the zombie and then finish him off with Cleric. Which will then give Dracula free reign to go probably kill that mana tower. We'll see what happens. Oh, he walked into Dracula's shooting range. That's okay. Start here. Hop down, hit that. Shoot that. Get the tower, and now we're in pretty good space. We'll get Mordock next turn. Do I want the guaranteed on the assassin? Nah, let's just plop it down here. Don't care too much which it'll be. No, let's save the Sign of the Cross for now and just continue recouping mana / bluffing with our gold. Ooh, that's a very risky play. Like, Dracula is now within just 2-shotting range. So we're just going to sort of sit tight here, start beating up Castle. Kill that off now. Yeah, if he wants to kill my Sunsteel Cleric, he has to go into Mordock feeding range. That was odd. That may have just been a misclick. And most likely Dracula is going to punch for the win here. Sign of the Cross alone is pretty close too. We'll probably throw that down because that'll clear the dojos as well. Unless he has a spell trap, but he doesn't have the mana for spell trap anyways. That looks like it. Dracula for the win. Oh, I got some rank. Oh, okay, so that quick match finally worked and pulled me out of the lobby. Cool. No lobbies going on, so I guess it's just time to quick match. And but I think I will draw that to the end for the stream for now. Thanks for coming by, those that did. I know it was a long one with some awkward intermissions, but I certainly had a good time for our launch. So I will catch you all next time. Regular stream time will likely be Sundays or Mondays. Tuesdays was only because, it was launch day. So we will catch you next time.